Welcome to the Wellness Help Desk with your host, Nikayla Modi, certified wellness coach and personal trainer. A wellness podcast focused on providing practical tips on how to curate a healthy lifestyle uniquely for you, where we discuss wellness hot topics with expert guests and have real candid conversations. It's the one-stop shop you need to get the help you've been looking for. Let's dive in. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Wellness Help Desk. I'm your host, Nikayla Modi, and this is episode 31. So grateful that you are here listening wherever you may be. And I'm really excited to provide today's topic, the 4 steps to consistent mommy self-care, or just being consistent in that health and wellness habit that you know is really life-giving for you. And so we all struggle with consistency. It's like a human thing. And so there are different reasons for why we become inconsistent with some things. Most times we're just not interested, but we're powering through anyway, and whatever that is. Other times there are things out of our control that come up, or we just fall off and we never get back on. So there's so many different reasons why we can become inconsistent with things. But in this area specifically today, I'm wanting to share these 4 steps that you can take to move towards having more consistency in those life-giving habits, whatever you're doing to meet your needs and fill your cup. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. Before we jump into that, I just wanted to give y'all a brief little update. The first thing is, if you don't know, I launched recently a new training, Unmasking Motherhood, Your Path to Prioritizing You and Thriving. And I'm so excited to finally have this available to you. I've been working on this for months and pouring into it the different concepts and the ideas, and I've shared it with a lot of other moms, and they have found it to be not only thought-provoking, but really hitting at the different areas that they are in right now presently in their season of motherhood, and helping them to start to realize not only how they can support themselves and meet their needs, but how they can make themselves a priority and reclaim their energy. And so I want you to go and watch this training, listen to this training. I made it to where you can listen to it or watch it anywhere, anytime, pause it, play it, listen to it on 2 times speed, whatever it is that you need to have something else going on in your multitasking life right now as a mom. You can do that. The link for it is down in the show notes, so be sure to go and check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are. You do receive 7 days of email support from me after you watch the training, where I walk you through step by step the very things you learned in the training so that you can implement a custom plan for you and actually start doing the things that you said you would do a long time ago to fill your cup. So go check it out. So now for today's topic, there's always that one self-care activity that you know you need in your life right now. Like if I were to say, name me one self-care activity that you need in your life right now, there's something that will roll off very easily off the tip of your tongue. And so I want to then say and follow up with that, well, when was the last time that you tried to pursue it? And if you did try to pursue it, were you ever consistent with it? Because I find that it's not that moms have a problem of not knowing what they need, not knowing how their needs are going unmet. It's more of they don't know how to go about implementing it with the limited availability of time, energy, resources, and so on and so forth. And so typically we do give up too soon on a health and wellness habit, and we allow for that to feed the narrative. I knew I couldn't do this. I knew I was too busy for this. It's always something. And so that giving up and not picking up wherever we left off, or however messy it looked, instead of just relinquishing and saying, forget it, feeds the narrative in our head that we say to ourselves. And maybe we gave up for valid reasons. I do not want to minimize that, or maybe we gave up because we weren't seeing the results that we wanted, or we weren't seeing results fast enough, or maybe it just got really hard. And to stay consistent with self-care or any form of health and wellness habit, you want to try and follow these 4 steps that I'm going to tell you today. If you are doing a new habit, to get to the point where it's considered like maintenance, where you essentially are doing it kind of on autopilot, is integrated itself into your life, you want to try and be consistent for 3 to 6 months. Now, keep in mind that along that 3 to 6 months, you're still regularly evaluating along the way any changes that you need to make. But for the most part, you're staying consistent with that life-giving activity. And so with that, here is the very first step that you need to do before you start any new life-giving activity. You all should be sick of me saying this at this point, but you have to know your why. Why is this important to me? That's what I want you to ask yourself. Before you even think about the strategy part of whatever, self-care activity you want to implement or wellness hack you want to start doing, you need to ask yourself, why is this important to me? How will this improve my life? How will consistently implementing this positively impact other people in my life? My kids, my partner, friends, family. Really connecting to your why is the foundation to sustaining the momentum that you need to stay consistent. Knowing your why is significant because it's going to help you know what you want, why you want it, what the impact will be. It's going to tie it specifically to you and not just a general, vague type of, well, because I have to. So that's the first step. Know your why. And this can be done obviously in a journal session, on a walk, but just take time to reflect while you're showering and washing your hair. Take time to reflect about why it's important. The second step is set SMART goals. And when I say SMART, I mean the acronym SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I did a whole episode on this on the podcast, and it's episode 4. So you can go back to episode 4 and listen to that podcast. But essentially, setting SMART goals is an acronym that was not created by me. Very, very popular and common by many, many people in various industries. But SMART goals help to work for you when it comes to goal setting instead of against you. And it ensures that you are not setting unrealistic expectations, that you are setting goals that are going to be really easy to measure and check in on. And setting SMART goals helps you to get clear on what it is you're trying to do. So it's not enough to just say, I'm going to go to the gym next week. Okay, but then when? What time? How long will you be there, right? It's like painting yourself the picture of you actually carrying out this goal. So SMART goals is the second step, outlining what it is that you are going to do as you strive to implement this life-giving habit. The third thing is extend self-compassion to yourself. I talk about self-compassion a lot, but it is so, so, so important because I remind my clients the most about this, how they talk to themselves, extending the self-kindness to themselves. It is so important because at the end of the day, like staying consistent and going on this journey of that and building the muscle of consistency is not about perfection because there will be setbacks. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be missed days. We all know kids get sick. The whole house is out and you got to just tend to everyone's need. Like there's just going to be things that happen. So you got to be able to hold healthy expectations and then respond with love to yourself. Ask yourself in that moment where you find you're kind of spiraling down this inner dialogue that just seems super critical, how would I talk to my best friend if they were in my shoes? Because self-compassion really moves you out of shame and into acceptance and love. Nothing sustainable is birthed out of shame, right? You're going to just be doing things forcibly almost versus if you're in this state of acceptance and of self-love towards yourself, that generates a completely different feeling and you're going to take completely different action from that place. A thought that I feel really resonates with this whole concept of trying to be consistent with life-giving habits is just reminding yourself that there is no rush to arrive. Like, take your time. And that is a huge self-compassion phrase you can say to yourself. Like, hey, we're not in a rush to figure this all out. Like, we can take our time. We're not doing anything wrong. And watch how that shifts how you feel in your body, how you feel towards yourself, and the action you take from that place. The last step is to check in periodically with your goal. I have to say this again, check in periodically with your goal. And yes, you're going to have to maybe in the beginning put one time a week when you just check in on your goals. This does not have to be this like overcomplicated process that takes an hour. This could literally be you write your goals on the notes section in your phone, and for the first 10 minutes on, Thursday morning, as you're drinking your coffee or as you're on the toilet peeing, because most people take their phones to the bathroom, you're looking through your notes and you're checking in on your goals, right? You are seeing, okay, how did I do with this goal this week? Because accountability is an active process. It's not passive. It's not something that will just kind of fall into your lap. You have to actively structure in accountability, whether that's through a coach, a friend, or yourself. So put you on your calendar when you're going to check in for 10 to 15 minutes to see how you did on your goals and what needs to be changed or modified, what's not working, what have you learned, what obstacles came up that you just weren't prepared for that you want to prepare for better for next week. How can you adapt for next time? Like, these are questions to be asking yourself when you're going for that periodic check-in of your goals. And I'll say a few of those again. What have you learned? What obstacles came up that you weren't prepared for? How can you adapt for next time? And what needs to be changed? I just want to encourage you, what if relief, more energy, and more balance of juggling not only motherhood, but meeting your needs was on the other side of just doing that life-giving habit or behavior one more time? So many times we give up on something because it doesn't generate the level of impact that we expect in the time frame we expect it. And the truth is, we just give up too soon. We don't allow for consistency to take place and to build over time to return to us tenfold more than what we could have ever imagined if we would just remain consistent. So what self-care activity did you give up on too soon? What if you would have stayed the course just one more time? What would be extremely different about your present well-being, about your present life, about how you show up as a mom? If you want to learn how to finally reclaim your energy by implementing proven strategies of remaining consistent with that life-giving habit, schedule a consultation call with me to learn about how one-on-one wellness coaching can accomplish that specifically for you. And please keep in mind how you talk to yourself matters on this journey to being consistent. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening in. If you enjoyed the episode today, head over and leave me a review. This helps others find the podcast and be one step closer to curating their healthy lifestyle. Come connect with me over on Instagram at Nike_Lamodi. And if social isn't your thing, join my beautiful newsletter community via the link in the show notes. To learn more about exclusive one-on-one wellness coaching, head over to rndaywellness.com. As always, remember to give yourself grace.